Join us, MrTruck.com, for truck reviews, trailer reviews, and accessory reviews. Okay, Dan, this is your truck, or was your truck. You traded it to David.
Oh, it used to be.
Yeah, so tell us all about this. You know, I guess you told us that it's a 92?
94.
94 with the Cummins.
That's correct.
The old 12 valve. So what's special about this? I mean, now you trade it, so you're not planning on fixing this up yourself.
No.
I'm sure David will, but so tell us all about this truck and what you did with it.
In 2016, I picked this up because I needed another truck. Because my truck, I used to have a 1997 crew cab short bed F250 with a 7.3. It was a great truck. It was a pain because it was an old truck and it needed love, and I was slowly fixing on it. And unfortunately, a brush fire took it out.
Oh, goodness.
And I needed another truck. And a local landscaping crew, they were retiring this, and ironically enough, they were going to a Super Duty with a 7.3. It was from single rear wheel, 3/4 ton, to a dually 1-ton crew cab. And they had this up for sale for $3,500.
Cool.
Which, when you factor in, it's a 12 valve, which you breathe on the key and this thing cranks up, and the rest of the truck is running and driving. People pay $3,500 just for the engine alone, and you got a whole running driving truck to come with it.
Oh yeah, the 12 valve is so famous for having great fuel mileage, and that's what everybody likes about them.
So I got the truck. I paid $3,500 for it, which again wasn't bad. It's not rotten, which is nice, but it is a very, very typical Dodge. And what I mean by typical Dodge is the dash is
see-through.
Oh yeah, it is see-through. It's falling apart. You know what? It's trying to go camouflage, but it's just really not succeeding very well. But 94 for the Dodge was actually a very important year. It was the first part. Now it's a 12 valve, which in and of itself means yeah. But the first generations had a Bosch, not a Bosch, it was a VE pump, and they were rated for 160 horsepower, and they were okay. You know, they weren't bad. They did the job. They were really good, especially 91.5, 92, 93, where they were intercooled. They had a lot more power. They were just a whole lot better than what they had initially. Starting in 94, actually, this was produced in August of 1993 for the 94 model year. So it means this is actually the second month of production of the new year. And I found that out just because I can't help myself.
That makes it a better truck, or what's that mean?
That means it's an early production number.
Okay.
Which means it's lasted a lot longer than the other second gens out there.
That's true. I love the look of that semi look, the big rig.
It's kind of beat up for being what it is, but the beautiful thing about 94, the important thing, is that it has the Bosch P7100 pump, or the P pump. Now with this having automatic, it means it has the 160 horsepower pump, but you can still make a ton of power with that pump. And you can rebuild them, because it's basically like having a mini engine. You can put all sorts of delivery valves. You can hot rod the heck out of this thing. But what I loved about it is that other than a fuel plate that was put into the pump to aid in better towing, better power for towing, this thing is bone stock. There is no intake. There's nothing crazy on the injection. You breathe if you just go bloop, this thing's running. And on top of that, with 350,000 miles on the clock, no blow-by, none, which is kind of freaky, because I would expect an engine with this many miles to have some blow-by.
Oh yeah, this is cool. Do you remember my Dodge Zella?
Yeah.
The black one. It was a lifted truck. It was gas 318, and it was a wonder. I loved that truck. It was way up in the air, and I ended up selling it. But what I loved about it, I loved this whole body style, and you know, it was a great truck and a lot of fun to drive. You know, and they're so popular. You see these all over the road. People are still using them to work with, to travel.
Yeah,
they're very popular. There's tons of them. Actually, the year that they started making these, at 94, it was outselling Ford and Chevy that year.
Oh yeah.
It was like the first year of the big rigs. It was awesome.
And then on top of that, in 1995, what they did to make these even more popular, the movie Twister.
Oh yeah.
There was a half
Yeah,
ton,
I remember
and
that
for some of
movie.
the stunt scenes, a 3/4 ton.
Yeah.
But I'm a Ford guy as a kid growing up, and I saw a red Dodge club cab. I think it was an 8-foot box on screen. And I thought that was one of the coolest trucks ever, because look what that thing was doing.
Oh yeah. When these first came out, they were the biggest cab too of the three, which was nice. They had more room behind the seat. Now
Yeah.
let's see. This is a long bed,
Yes, sir.
and it's a 2-wheel drive.
This is 2-wheel drive. Now, I couldn't tell that by looking at the tires because, well, the tires that were on there were worn out, and one of the tires had a belt that had shifted and was creating one heck of a vibration.
Oh yeah. These are
So,
KOs. These are cool tires.
oh
All-terrain.
yeah. So I went on Facebook and I grabbed a set of tires, and well, 2 of the 4 were fantastic. One was garbage, and the other one was great for a spare. So I went and I got 2 KO2s to put on the back. So I've got 2 KO2s and 2 KOs,
Uh-huh.
and they are a load range E-tire. And when I need to tow, I'll bump up the pressure in the rear to handle that, but really nice, even wear at about 50 pounds.
Well, that's right. These are just 2,500. It's a heavy-duty 3/4 ton.
And now I've beefed up the rear end just a little bit to handle the weight, because there was a load that I grabbed that, well, let's just say, and David, I'm so glad you're understanding of this, but I had 2 Cummins engines, I had a barrel full of fuel, and I had a really, really heavy trailer that had a wrecker on it, and I was grossing over 20,000 pounds with this truck in a trailer.
Were you supposed to be doing that?
Don't go away, MrTruck.tv. We'll be right back.
Maybe.
Well, this Laramie SLT was like almost the top of the line, wasn't it?
Yeah,
It was way up there.
Honestly, this truck, for what it was in 1994, this was the thing, because you had power mirrors, you had tilt wheels, you had cruise control.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, this thing, trucks really didn't go leather back then. You either had vinyl, you had cloth, and this had the nice, really nice cloth seats.
Yeah.
And like Powder Keg, it's got a small spot on the driver's side seat, and I tried to replace it with another bench, and which with a much smaller hole in it. And I managed to get the same pattern on the seat as what was stock, because it actually matches the door panel. And that stuff matters to me, because a little bit OCD at times.
Well, that's a cool seat. I love that seat. It's got the folding armrest.
Oh, yeah.
Seat belts for 3. And
Now-
it's got a cup holder in the middle of the dash.
Well,
You pull it out, and hopefully the cups don't fall out.
it used to.
Now
Now
you
it's
lost the cup thing.
no, it's sitting on the floor.
Oh, okay.
It's the only place to put it where it wouldn't fall off.
Well, it matches the dash. It's kind of had its problems.
Well, no, this is a Sunday dash.
Oh, it's a Sunday dash.
Holy.
Yeah, it's a see-through puppy for sure.
But here's the best part. The tape deck works.
Really?
Yep.
Tape deck. I kind of remember that name from way back when.
Oh, yeah.
Yep, this is awesome. 2-wheel drive, Cummins.
Yeah, and with the 354 gears that are in it, it does fantastic on the highway. You go ahead and put it in gear, and with the way this truck is, you can cruise, 65 mile an hour down the road, about 1,700 RPM, which is really nice. You can get decent fuel mileage out of this, and I kind of regret trading it off, but at the same time, I need 4-wheel drive, and I don't trust the automatics. And
So did
'cause it
David
had-
give you a good deal on this, you
Are you
think?
kidding me? He gave me a great deal. And on top of that, now, the love of vehicles is definitely my family. My wife, she knows I'm out here today, and she told me to say hello to the truck because she missed it.
She didn't care about you, huh?
Oh, no. She,
Only cares about the truck. Well, that's cool. Does this have that big piece of plastic on the tailgate?
yeah.
Mine had that. The tailgate I bought had that.
Hey,
Some people
he
hate
riveted
it.
it back on.
Some people love it. Some people hate that tailgate.
You know what?
piece.
You just can't get that anywhere.
Look at that, I riveted
Boy, that's quite the old riveting thing.
I didn't like it flapping in the wind, Dan.
Yeah. And see, cool about these bodies too, is these posts. I know I complain about these a lot. The older ones did not have a post there. So it means if you didn't have the tailgate closed, you could actually get that cracked loose in the corner. But you got a big post. Actually, had a very well-built truck.
Oh yeah.
I remember the whole story about these guys. But
This
yeah.
truck was worked hard for many years, and quite frankly, the fact that that still closes and it's not completely bashed in.
Yeah, tailgates take a lot of abuse.
Yes, they do. This
You got
truck.
your hitch and you're all ready to tow.
Now you see that light there in the corner?
Yeah, the yellow one.
Well, I had some issues seeing in reverse,
Oh.
so I put on one of those little LED lights there. That
good.
sucker lights up pretty good.
Yeah, the backup lights in the factory were not ever super great, but no,
No, it
it's a
works.
cool old truck, and you know, hopefully David will get a lot of years out of it. And
Are
I'm
you
sure it'll look
kidding? He's
different.
already made this thing shine like a brand new penny.
I'm sure in a few years.
I kind of feel
It'll be a
bad
new
for
truck.
owning it because I should have got it to you sooner. Because look how much, yeah, you've loved on this truck in a very short period of time, more than I've ever been able to. And now, mind you, it's still the same old kind of beat up truck. And we were talking the other day on the other video about whether you get an old truck and you fix it up. And this is one of those cases where, yeah, it's kind of beat up and I don't have much ability to do the body work, but mechanically it's pretty well good. And I was saving up for a little here and a little there. And then Gunsmoke came up, that Gunsmoke powder keg came up. And there were several times where I needed a heavy duty that was forward drive. And as good as these suckers are, when you have an open differential and two-wheel drive, it just doesn't cut it.
Well, cool. So how many years have you had this truck?
Well, we're in what, 2021?
Yeah,
5 years?
5 years.
Right at about 5 years.
Okay. And how much did you buy? Because you traded for one of the trucks, you really don't know the original value of it.
Well, I gave $3,500.
Okay, 35.
And then we did a little bit of horse trading. And I know he's happy with the trade. Well, I've asked him multiple times because, well, I've got a rule when I do any kind of vehicle purchasing.
Yeah.
I don't want anyone to think like they got took advantage of.
Well, sure. So it makes everybody happy. So have you never put any money in it all those 5 years? I know you didn't have any breakdowns or anything, but you didn't. Other
Well,
than maybe tires?
well, they got tires. I serviced the transmission because when I got it, it was at that point where it probably should have been serviced. And it was one of those deals where I towed with it a couple times and it gave me the indication that, okay, it wasn't quite up to snuff to the level of work I needed it to do. So about once a month when I got home, I'd come up, I started, I'd drive it down the road. And that's about as good as I could do for it while not driving it day in and day out. Because if you let them sit for too long, they go to waste.
Yeah.
So
Very true.
the best I could do for it while not using it every day was to just use it moderately to keep everything moving and greased. So there's way too many good trucks out there that you see that get too far gone to actually use again because they've been sitting.
Yeah, I grew up on the farm, 30 years on the farm, and our tractors were 30 years old, our combines were 30 years old, everything we had seemed to be 30 years old, and they weren't wore out. You know, we had a lot of life out of all those machines. Big trucks, the dump trucks, the combines, the tractors, and you know, that's how it is. You get good vehicles, you take care of them, they can last forever. So that's what we're trying to decide here is, you know, and tell us in the comments, what do you think? Do you think you should buy an old one and fix it up? Do you think you should just keep one forever? Do you think you should buy a new one and have payments and no repair bills? But you heard the differences. David told you how much he had in there, and you know what you have in here, and it saves you a lot of money, gets rid of the payments.
Oh yeah.
It does a lot of things for you. So tell us in the comments which way you would vote, and thanks for joining us.
Well, hold on.
Wait, there's more.
Hold on. We got to do a bonus round. I'm going to put a question out. We didn't talk about this, but I got to do it to you. So, which would you rather have? Four-wheel drive Chevrolet, the Cummins power two-wheel drive Dodge, or as a bonus, how about that magnificent 2-over Ford back there? Let us know in the comments. I'd be real curious to see what y'all have to say about that.
Yeah, I have an opinion. No. That's a diesel though, isn't it?
Oh no, that's a straight six.
What happened to the diesel? You guys had a diesel, you sold it, or was that part of that?
No, that was a diesel.
Okay. I don't know. I mean, that truck has no bed. It has
That was the parts truck right
That
there.
was the
Ken.
parts truck,
Yeah.
yes.
The diesel was worth something. That one, not so much.
Yeah.
Oh, it's worth
yeah.
something. It's a cherry picker now.
I mean, see, this is special because it has a Cummins, so a two-wheel drive's fine. That doesn't have much special.
Well, according to Dan, that 300 straight six is special.
Well, I grew up with 336s, and I had one that went 300,000 miles. They were very good engines. We have in Swathers, they were in a lot. That's a Ford, had an industrial engine like that. And I thought they were wonderful engines, but that's a long time ago.
Well, I think the only thing left that's special is the space in between the wheel and the seat.
Okay. No, I mean, I do. I love that 300. That was one of my favorite engines a long, long time ago. And I sold a lot of them when I was selling trucks. They still made them clear into when it was, that 93, 4, 5, whatever Ford quit them.
1996 was last year for the
96.
300.
Wow.
Ran from 1965
Yeah.
until 1996, 31 years. Now,
Yeah.
we talked about keep it simple, stupid. If you got something that goes 31 years in production with little to no changes, any major changes, I'd
yeah.
say that's something that lasted and was really, really engineered well.
Well, that's lasted longer than the rest of them. You know, General Motors had a 250, and then Chrysler Dodge had a slant 6. I don't remember what model what cubic inch that was.
That would be a 225 slant 6.
Yeah.
And I think that came out like what? Early 60s, I believe,
Yeah, a long
right?
time. I think the Ford 300 outlasted them all, is what I think. By going
Yeah,
up to
that sounds about
96.
right, yeah.
So that's awful cool. So you make your own decision on what you want to do with these things, and what's your best choice for, you know, the future and future trucks. And now, you know, I'm still buying old trucks and fixing them up, so I like to do that, and I have a new truck. So I do them both because I like both options. And it's a lot of fun, and it's a great thing for the family. Get you and your kids or your daughters out working on a truck together, and it's a great family project. And I'm sure you've done that, David. Probably had everybody involved.
Exactly.
And it's good. It's good to do. All right, there's the Cummins in this Dodge. You know, it's got the new owner, and I got the old owner. So,
Well, this is what enticed me to make the trade. When Dan called me up and said, "Hey, David, you know that truck you've been working on? I'd like to trade." And I said, "What do you got?" And he said, "I got a 12-valve P-pump Cummins." And I said, "Bring it on."
well, yeah, that was a quick decision you made.
Yeah, that was it didn't take long to make that decision.
I think you had one question and one question only.
What was that?
Blow-by.
Oh yeah, I had him give me a video, took the cap off, I had him set the cap right there,
Yeah.
and run it, and that thing did not move. This thing has 350,000 miles and no blow-by.
And I
That's
did it.
good.
I did this video cold, and then I ran the truck for a long time. I wanted to get that engine up to temperature, get it hot, get it like it was working. And then I did the same thing. And the amount that came out was so small.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it was like it's brand new.
Yeah. So this is what I'm excited about. I'm thinking, you know, I have 2 other Cummins trucks now. So this is going to be my play Cummins. And I'm thinking it's going to get compound turbos. It might get a little different P-pump, turned up a little bit. And this might be my race truck.
Oh, cool. So we'll see you at Vandermeer.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, that's awesome.
You just look for David. He'll be in the cloud of smoke.
That's awesome. The red Dodge with the smoke.
Well, we'll make it smokeless to
Cool.
make everybody happy.
Yes, very, very
Great.
efficient with some compounds.
Can you make a 12-valve smokeless? Oh, yeah, you can if you work at it.
I think you can get it to, maybe not smokeless, but
Right.
you can get it to puff and then clean.
That's it, exactly. When she's running down the road at
Especially with some
2,000
nitrous.
RPM, she's clean as can be.
Oh, yeah.
All right. Thanks, guys.
You're welcome.
Thanks for joining us. Is this going to smoke when you start it?
Nope.
Okay. That's what they sound like. Ken with Mr. Truck here with a really exciting trailer accessory. You know, trailer tires is a big deal. You got problems, especially 100-degree weather like we're having this year. You know, you're gonna blow tires, and the tires are gonna blow, take out your fender, take out your clearance lights, and then you're gonna sit there on the side of the road fixing your tire while your horses get hot. Sun coming down 100 degrees, no doors open and no fan. It's horrible. And I see it happen all the time, and so I go to Higher Ply Tires and I go to Tucson Tire Pressure Monitoring System. They got so many options. You can go with bands on the Alcoa wheels, that's such a small hole. You can go with the tire pressure monitoring where you have a valve stem and the relay below it, the transmitter. And then you can do the same transmitter on a band. And now the new one, I call them Spaceballs, but they're actually tire pressure monitoring from Tucson ball sensors, like a ping pong ball, rubber coated, and you put this in your tire. You crack open the bead, throw it in there, and it bounces around, goes right for a little while, and then once you get up to speed, it just sticks to wherever it's at. You know ahead of time what's going on. This gives you special alerts. Before, if the tire pressure is too high, it goes off, beeps and flashes. Too low, it beeps and flashes. Same way with heat. And this will save you a lot of money. You know, the price of a tire will pay for one of these puppies. And why would you not want to know what's going on with your trailer tires?